Alex, we had the opportunity to reach the last 16 of the Carabao Cup on Wednesday against AFC Bournemouth. How do you view the game?
Well, it's going to be a tough game. I think that they've been very competitive in the games they've played this season. I've watched them against Brighton, I've watched them against Chelsea, watched them against Brentford, and I think they've competed really well. I think they've obviously struggled for wins at that level, but I think the newly promoted teams show you how difficult that level is. So it'll be interesting to see what team they put out. We're not going to have a huge deal of scope, I don't think, to make too many changes due to lads being either injured or ineligible or cup tied or whatever. So yeah, it's another game for us that we can go and try and obviously put a better performance than we did at the weekend in. I'd like us to get back to obviously some of the performances we put in before the last game. I think that they were more than adequate to get points. We know it's going to be a really tough match. Like I say, I don't know how Bournemouth are going to set up, if they make changes or if they don't. But we need to focus on making sure we compete well, we move the ball well, and obviously we work extremely hard to get the ball back because you're going to be playing against good opponents.
You've earned your place in the third round thanks to two strong performances against fellow Championship opposition. I suppose that shows how strong this team can be.
Yeah, I think that obviously in that moment I think we had everybody available. I think we started, because we'd had pre-season for a lot of the players, we were going into the games having built up a sort of a better foundation of what we're going to look like. I think since then obviously we've lost maybe 3 or 4 players to injury. We've then added 3 or 4 players, so we're trying to get those lads up to speed who have maybe taken other players' place, but try to win championship games in the meantime. And I think that in some of the matches we haven't fell the right side of the result, which we should have based on the performance. But unfortunately in the last game our performance wasn't where we'd expect it to be, and I think this is an opportunity for us to go and try and get back on that.
Over 500 supporters are making the trip to Bournemouth. You must hope that you can give them something to get behind.
Yeah, of course. Listen, the supporters, particularly travelling down there midweek, it just shows the dedication that they've got for the club, and the last thing we want to do is not perform well, so we're hoping that we can put a strong performance in.
You're staying down after the game, looking ahead to then obviously Bristol City. How will you look to utilise that time?
I think just to spend time with the players, them spending time with each other as much as anything else as well. Getting a little bit more social time than just obviously prepping for a game then playing, then prepping for a game then playing. So I think that's important, particularly when you've got so many changes as we've got. And just try to get the boys more together and understanding each other. And yeah, we're all fighting for a sort of common goal.